Now, it was just a quick walk through a South London park that ended up being the worst day of Lakaydia Reynolds' life when she was viciously attacked by 3 dogs, including a banned American pit bull terrier.
In a moment, we're going to show you the video which circulated online of the attack. We're not playing the sound because that's extra distressing, but you might find the pictures distressing too. So it shows the 24-year-old's terrifying ordeal, which left her fearing for her life and with severe injuries. Now, nearly 4 months on, she is beginning to try to rebuild her life, and Lakaydia joins us now. I know it's still very raw for you and difficult, but we really appreciate, and I know you want to talk about it as well. How are you now, first of all, physically?
I'm still in recovery. It's going to be a long road to recovery, but I'm really hopeful and positive about it as well.
You thought at the time you were going to die, didn't you?
100%. I thought I was going to die.
Lakaydia, what do you remember about what happened on that day?
I was walking through a park that's near my house. I was trying to get to the other side to meet my friend, and I saw 3 dogs when I turned to my right with their owner on a leash. But they were still on a leash when I turned to the right. But I'm not scared of dogs, so I wasn't fazed by it at all. So I continued my walk through the park, and he eventually let 2 of them go, kept 1 on the leash, and they went off, as dogs do, they go out. But they usually go back to their owners, but they came up to me instead. And at first, I just thought they were being playful. But I asked him to take his dogs, because my friend at the other side of the park, she's petrified of dogs. So I'd rather not walk towards her with 2 dogs following me.
And when you said, can you gather your dogs, please, what did the owner do and did the dog respond?
At first, there was no response from the owner, so I had to repeatedly ask him to take his dogs, and he eventually called the dogs, but there was no response from the dogs.
And then it turned really nasty.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about the injuries that you were left with?
So I had scratches and bites on my face, my legs, my arm. I had a really bad injury to my lip across there, so I've had stitches. I've had to get plastic surgery on it. I also had to get plastic surgery to my right arm, which is also my dominant arm. So that left me with ulnar nerve damage, which means that I now can't feel half my hand and half of my arm.
Can you move it?
Not really, no. And the other half is just in excruciating pain.
Is there hope that that will resolve itself and it will heal eventually?
The doctors did say that there's age on my side, so fingers crossed there is hope that it will recover. But nerves, they don't actually regenerate, they only repair. So whatever state my hand is at in a year and a half is as far as it's going to go.
The footage is really shocking, quite extraordinary. And of course, at the time, you had no idea that it was being filmed.
No.
You've been able to watch it back since. How do you feel about the fact that the incident was filmed in the first place and then shared on social media? Because I'm assuming no one came up to you and said, would you mind if we put this on social media? We think it'd be a great warning and it's or whatever.
Nobody asked. It was all done without my consent, which I found extremely disappointing. Because at first, when I first heard there was a video, I thought it was with good intentions.
Yeah.
So I didn't actually expect it to go on social media, which made it evident that this individual had shared it with other people. And though they may have been raising awareness, I still don't believe that it was the right thing to do because it was without my consent.
So you were happy with it being filmed, to record it, but not sharing without your permission?
I still wasn't happy with it being recorded because because the first thing you'd think is, oh my gosh, like I have to see this again. It's in my mind and now I can see it again. I'm reliving it. Other people have seen it. And it was just, though I knew there were people around at the time, it was like a little reminder that people had actually seen it and just a little sad reminder that nobody could help me.
Sure.
Are you, where are you now in terms of, you know, what you want to be done? You, I assume, don't want anyone to go through this again.
No.
Do you still love dogs? What do you feel? I know there's a criminal case involved in this, so we have to be careful what we say, but what would you like to see done?
I think that there needs to be a lot of emphasis on responsible dog ownership. and that there needs to be a lot of focus on the dog owners as well.
We've seen the government start to ban 1 or 2 breeds, more recently XL Bully, of course. Is that something that you would like to see happen? You're a dog lover, am I right in saying that? But do you think the government should be doing more to sort of phase out these breeds that are thought to be very, very dangerous and aggressive?
I think that the government needs to focus on strengthening existing legislations surrounding the Dangerous Dog Act. They need to give police officers more power to actually get involved in situations and possibly seize dogs and enforce the uses of muzzles and leashes for dogs in public. I also think that the public should also be able to report incidents where they believe that a dog could potentially be dangerous, because it's all about the public feeling safe as well.
Has it made you wary?
Yes, it's made me extremely cautious of dogs.
Well, look, Lakaydia, thank you for coming in and sharing your story. Fingers crossed the recovery continues and you can get the use of your arm back as soon as possible. But it's really important that you came and talked to us this morning, so thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.